This is a meditation recorded October 19th, 2021. It's about almost at the summit, graduating and taking the last step up to the top of the summit and being open and allowing experiences way beyond our wildest human dreams and allowing heavenly miracles in every aspect of our life, relationships, health, money. And body. It's like when we graduate from something that we've loved. Let's say we graduate from high school and we're sad because we've had some wonderful experiences, and we look around and it all of a sudden hits us and we think we're fine and we just start sobbing because we've had some wonderful experiences and we wonder if we'll ever have those experiences again. And we want to take a moment and acknowledge how wonderful those experiences were and the gifts from them. So we're going to imagine, we're going to start now. Take a deep breath. And take another deep breath. And one more. Imagine they're almost at the top of the mountain. You're just a few feet away, maybe 10 feet. You're standing on that side. You're so close to the pinnacle. But as you're standing there, you imagine you to be ready to keep going. But then you stop on this side. Just those feet away from the top. And you look around. You stare out away from the mountain as you safely pause and look out. And remember, this is your relationship side of the mountain. And you're going to look down and look back. And look at all those relationships that you had. And you're going to look at how wonderful some of them were. And how the wonderful experiences you had during some of them. The ones you particularly loved. Perhaps ones that you didn't want to leave, or they didn't want to leave. But for whatever reason, whatever circumstances, you're not together. And you may still be sad for some of those losses. And maybe you never fully grieved or fully appreciated all the gifts you got from those relationships. Whether it was gifts of learning, gifts of taking you to another experience, gifts of supporting you, gifts of clarifying who you are. There's gifts in everyone. And you know that before you go to the pinnacle, where you be open and allowing for heavenly miracles, you feel an unexpected, perhaps overwhelming emotion. Maybe it's fear of leaving the known. Maybe it's fear that you'll never have something that wonderful again, even though maybe it wasn't completely wonderful, but there were wonderful aspects of it. And maybe you know that you haven't even fully acknowledged the wonderful parts of it and the gifts of it. So as you're standing on this side of the mountain, stop. Imagine it as a graduation. And it's okay to look back at those significant relationships in your life and acknowledge that there's some grief, maybe still some love, maybe still some anger, maybe still sadness, maybe reluctance to fully give those up. Maybe just that you've never acknowledged any feelings, not any feelings, but all the feelings that you still have lingering that you didn't acknowledge, like these. And that imagine as if being a graduation where there's some happiness to go forward. There's also maybe some tears that you're leaving friends that you've known for a long time, or relationships, or easy things that you experienced during that time, whether a college or a high school or a grade school or a job or whatever that graduation was. And that's what you're looking at, all these relationships. And you're taking a moment to be grateful for them, to feel any feelings that may come up. We're going to pause here while we feel those for a moment. And you're going to thank them. And even though there may be some melancholy, about those relationships and experiences, you're also going to allow yourself to feel gratitude, because there's always gifts and always things to be grateful for in every one of those relationships, especially the most significant. So pause here and allow gratitude to come up. Thank them for being in your life. Thank the experience. Be thankful for the gifts. And if you need more time, stop the recording. Take a pause and start it again when you're ready to go. To the next step. And even though we're comfortable with this part of the mountain and we look down at how far we've come, and we've come so far, we know that at the very top of that mountain, there are going to be heavenly co-created experiences with you that are beyond your wildest dreams of what you ever thought you could imagine. And you know that before you can move to that very top of that pinnacle and open and allow that, you need to just stop here. And now you've done that, you're ready. But before we climb up, we're going to climb to another side. And we're going to look at money and abundance. So as you move gingerly to the next side of the mountain, you're going to be in awe of where you are right now and how high you are and how far you've become. And you know that coming up the mountain to this point wasn't always straight. Sometimes it went down further for a long time before it went up again. There's been a lot of curving and maneuvering and manipulating and forcing and trying and hoping and learning and all the things that got you to this point with abundance. But you're ready. You're ready to start co-creating abundance for yourself with the universe, with your higher self, in a way that you've never experienced and allowed it before. But you also know before you can go those last 10 feet up to the top of the mountain and be completely open and free, that you want to acknowledge how far you've come. And be thankful for all the gifts and all the lessons and all the experiences. How many times you've been mad at money and felt separate from money, felt separate from abundance, felt separate from everyone else who seemed to have abundance when you didn't. So we're going to take a moment and let any feelings about abundance and money come up. And again, it's like a graduation where you've been. And even though you've come so far up this mountain to get to this point of graduation, you want to go those extra 10 feet. But before you do, you need to acknowledge and be thankful and grieve or angry and let all that go. So take a moment and think about your experiences and your relationship with money in the past. Any sadness or anger. Take a minute and let all those feelings come up for you. And again, if you need to pause the recording and then start it when you're ready, that's perfectly fine. We'll be right here waiting for you for the rest of the journey. Now, we're going to look at money. And now, in this place where we are, 10 feet from the top of the sun, you're going to be grateful for all those experiences. You might even laugh with abundance and money and how silly and funny some of those experiences were, and the things that you thought and things you had to force an outcome, and ways you thought you had to create money and force it on your own instead of co-creating with your higher self in the universe and in this time of paradise by opening and allowing at the top of the summit. So you're going to just take a moment and just be really thankful for all those and grateful. Take a moment and let your mind and your heart feel that gratitude. Even for the experience that seemed extremely painful at the time. If you look back down the mountain that's scattered and littered with some of those experiences. But you're not there, you're here. 10 feet from the top. And you want to go to the top. But you're pausing here first. So you'll be completely ready when you get to the top to open and allow infinite co-creation of abundance with the universe. And as you take another deep breath, you're feeling so much lighter. And you almost want to just scramble up that last 10 feet. But first, you want to walk around to the third side of the mountain. And you want to look down past the clouds. All the way down that mountain. And you sit at the very bottom of the mountain. At the base of the mountain. Maybe there's a town there. A village. And you see down there, you see yourself as a baby. Being born in that village. Or town. And then you just look and you look at yourself now, 10 feet from the top of the mountain. And it doesn't matter how many times you've been around the sun. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 50 or 70 or 90 or 100 or whatever you are. But wherever you've come to this point, your body has grown. You wouldn't have been able to climb up the mountain as that baby. But here you are. And physically, there's been so many experiences along the way. Your body has had moments where you felt exuberant health, and moments where perhaps you've had an illness or sickness or a break along the way. But here you are, in this magnificent body of yours, still moving, still breathing, still feeling touch. And you look down at your body and you think, wow, we've come a long way. And body, you've been with me every step of this way. I couldn't be 10 feet from the top of the summit without this wonderful, magnificent, fully functioning. Because even if you've got some parts that you may not feel like are functioning to the level as perhaps you'd like to, you're still here, you made it here. So this body has served you. And we'd like to get up that last 10 feet to the summit and know that we can open and allow vitality and exuberance and regeneration and refreshing of ourselves and live in a time on this earth where we're able to allow our bodies to be open to all the health and feelings of health that we desire. But first, we want to be thankful. We want to acknowledge if there's an area also that we're sad about our body or that we have grieving about. Perhaps we're holding on to some feelings about grieving that we're not how our bodies we thought they'd be looking at right now, or how we thought they'd be feeling right now, or changes that we didn't expect. So take a moment and allow any sadness or remorse or feelings of melancholy, again, like we would have at a graduation. And you may have the feelings of gratitude that for things that you were experienced too during that time in your body, your whole life. Maybe you played a sport in your youth or recently, or that you've really enjoyed, and you're a little angry or sad that you feel like you're not in that same shape that you were then to accomplish some of the wins that you had. So your sadness and your gratitude may come up at the same time, and that's okay. We're going to allow whatever comes up, just like we did with the relationships and the abundance and money with your physical body and physical health. We're going to let all that come up. So again, if you need to take a moment and pause the recording and let whatever feelings come up, acknowledge them, and know that 10 feet up at the summit, it's even better than your wildest dreams, how you can feel in your physical body, co-creating that with the universe going forward. And it's time of paradise on earth. And now we're going to take another deep breath. And we feel lighter and lighter and lighter. But there's one more side. And so we're gingerly going to walk around to the fourth side of this mountain, 10 feet from the pinnacle. And we're going to stop. And we're going to notice as we look down that we've had such life experiences, such a journey. And we're going to notice that we looked outside of ourselves a lot as we were climbing from the base of that mountain up to the top. And we looked to other people We look to external experiences. We look to so many other things outside ourselves. And we compared ourselves to other people, and sometimes good ways, sometimes not good ways. And we realized that perhaps we didn't fully love ourselves enough. Perhaps we didn't acknowledge who we were. We didn't acknowledge those struggles and those successes and those losses and those wins. But they were all wonderful parts of our experience. And sometimes we were so hard on ourselves, but many times we forgot that we love ourselves and how wonderful we are and that we're having this human experience here. And that it was a climb. Sometimes really fun times during that climb. Sometimes maybe some seemingly painful experiences. We all have them during this climb. And again, like graduation, we're going to look back fondly sometimes and not so fondly other times to those experiences, but we're going to remember that we were always there. That we looked outside of ourselves so many times and didn't acknowledge our fully being in experiences and going through those experiences and loving every part of it. And we want to go up that next 10 feet to the pinnacle and love ourselves so fully. Love every part about us. And even the parts that when we do things that in the moment maybe we want to choose different, that just we'll be able to stop for a second, take a breath, laugh at ourselves, and then choose differently. But before we do that, we want to look back at all the times in our lives where we're so hard on ourselves during that climb. Sometimes even mean to ourselves. Where we didn't glorify our successes and glorify ourselves and just be kind to ourselves and partner with ourselves. And know that yes, there are outside experiences around us as we climbed up, but we, in our human form, went from the base of the mountain to here. So take a moment. Again, stop the recording if you want to pause it. Take as long as you need to either feel some sadness, maybe fear of letting go of some of the other attachments outside of ourselves that we looked at to for self-love instead of ourselves. Look at those, acknowledge those, and be thankful to who we are and how we got us here. Because we're 10 feet from the top of the pinnacle looking down on a huge mountain of experiences. And we want to love ourselves. So take a moment. And when you're ready, let's look up to that top of that pinnacle. And we feel so light, that 10 feet. We know we're ready to climb it. We know we're ready for what's at the top of that pinnacle. We know that we're ready. We thought we were always ready. Every step along the way, on all four sides of the mountain, we always thought we were ready. But now we are. So you're going to take off the backpack that you have on your back. You're going to just be fully unencumbered. Whatever you have on your body. And it's not even going to be a struggle. It's not even going to be a climb. It's going to be a graceful, leisurely, easy walk to the top of the summit. And you have no barriers now between you and that top of the summit. So you're going to walk up those 10 feet. 1. Up. Second step up. Third one. Fourth one. Fifth one. You're so much lighter. Sixth one. Seventh one. Eighth. Ninth. One more step before you're going to be sitting at the very top of that summit, looking out over everywhere you've been. And you take another deep breath. And you take that last final step. And you're standing on the summit. Wow. Wow, look how far you've come. Take a huge breath. Take another breath. Let all of it out. Look how far you've come. And now you're ready to open and fully allow and receive miracles of experiences here on this earth beyond your wildest dreams. You have graduated. And you will have experiences maybe that will be similar to other ones you've had in the past, but they'll be, so much different. You in this higher dimension, an enlightened master. And you feel such a sense of lightness and excitement and joy. And you're ready. You're ready for whatever comes. As you co-create with the universe a remarkable life. And choose what you want, because you are the creator of your own creation. And so it is. Take another deep breath and stay here as long as you want to enjoy this feeling that you have right now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. But before you do, feel this experience in your body and remember you can be here anytime you want. Because this, our beloved human, is where you are now, forevermore.